Ever wonder which classic dinners from the 70s should make a comeback? Let's take a walk down memory lane and explore 20 delicious meals that used to be regulars on our dinner tables. While some folks still enjoy these dishes, they've mostly disappeared from modern menus. It's time to bring them back. Chicken cordon bleu is a delightful dish made from breaded chicken breasts stuffed with ham and cheese. The name cordon bleu, which means blue ribbon in French, hints at its high-quality origins. It's believed to have started in Switzerland in the mid-20th century before winning over American taste buds. The recipe involves flattening chicken breasts, layering them with ham and Swiss cheese, rolling them up, and then coating them in breadcrumbs before frying or baking until golden. In the 1970s, it became a popular frozen meal because it held up well after freezing and reheating. Its crispy outer layer and gooey, savory center made it a favorite for special occasions. Steak Diane is a fancy dish featuring tender beef steak topped with a rich cognac sauce. The sauce is often flambéed right at your table, adding a bit of drama to the dining experience. This dish got its name from Diana, the Roman goddess of the hunt. To make it, the beef is pan-fried, and a sauce is created from the pan juices, cognac, butter, mustard, and Worcestershire sauce. The flambé not only adds excitement, but also deepens the flavor of the sauce. In the 1950s and 60s, it was a highlight in upscale New York City restaurants, often served with mashed potatoes or vegetables, embodying the elegance of mid-century dining. Duck à l'orange is a classic French dish that pairs roasted duck with a tangy orange sauce. It dates back to the 19th century and was a favorite among French aristocrats. The duck is roasted to achieve a crispy skin, while the sauce is made from a reduction of orange juice, stock, and a touch of liqueur like Grand Marnier. By the 1970s, this dish had become a symbol of sophisticated dining, often chosen for elegant dinner parties. The combination of rich, savory duck and fresh citrusy sauce creates a unique and memorable flavor. Shepherd's pie is a comforting casserole made with ground meat and vegetables, topped with a layer of mashed potatoes. Originating in the United Kingdom in the late 18th century, this dish traditionally uses lamb, which makes it different from cottage pie, which uses beef. The typical recipe involves sautéing ground lamb with onions, carrots, and peas, then covering it with mashed potatoes and baking until golden. During the 1970s, shepherd's pie was a staple in both British and American homes, especially in colder months when its hearty and warming nature was most appreciated. Chicken Kiev is a dish that features chicken breasts stuffed with herbed butter, all wrapped up in a crispy breadcrumb coating. There's some debate about its origins, with some saying it was created by French chefs in the early 19th century, while others believe a Ukrainian chef in Moscow invented it in the early 20th century. Regardless of its history, Chicken Kiev gained international popularity in the mid-20th century, becoming a go-to dish for dinner parties. The traditional preparation involves flattening chicken breasts, stuffing them with a mixture of butter, garlic, and herbs, then rolling them up, breading, and frying to a golden brown. When sliced, the butter inside oozes out, creating a rich, flavorful sauce. Veal Parmigiana brings a taste of Italian-American heritage to the table, featuring breaded veal cutlets smothered in tomato sauce and melted cheese. This dish was created by Italian immigrant communities in the US, adapting traditional Italian recipes to American tastes. It first appeared in the early 20th century and became a staple in Italian-American restaurants. The preparation involves breading veal cutlets, frying them, layering with marinara sauce, and a generous helping of mozzarella or parmesan, and baking until bubbly and golden. It reached peak popularity in the 1950s and 60s, often served with pasta for a hearty, satisfying meal. Sole meunière is a delicate French classic made from tender fish fillets lightly dredged in flour, sautéed in butter, and spritzed with lemon. The dish gets its name from the traditional French technique used in its preparation. It became a favorite in France in the early 20th century, especially in upscale dining. Julia Child famously credited her first meal of sole meunière in 1948 as the dish that sparked her lifelong love of French cuisine. To prepare it, the fish fillets are sautéed until golden, then drizzled with a simple butter, lemon, and parsley sauce. It's usually served with vegetables or potatoes, offering a light, refreshing meal that highlights the fish's subtle flavors. Crab Louie, also known as the King of Salads, is a classic that originated on the west coast of the United States in the early 20th century. Its exact birthplace is debated, with some pointing to the Palace Hotel in San Francisco and others to a restaurant in Seattle. The salad always includes Dungeness crab, hard-boiled eggs, asparagus, tomatoes, and a creamy dressing made from mayonnaise, chili sauce, and spices. It was dubbed the King of Salads by the San Francisco Chronicle in 1914, a nod to its luxurious ingredients and popularity among the elite. It became a favorite in the 1920s and 30s, often served at high-end restaurants and social gatherings. Chicken Devon is all about comfort, featuring chicken and broccoli covered in a creamy cheese sauce and baked to perfection. It originated in the early 20th century at the Devon Parisien restaurant in New York City, named after the place where it was first created. The dish was initially designed to showcase the chef's skills in French cooking, but it became popular in the mid-20th century as a dish that combines sophistication with simplicity. To make it, cooked chicken and broccoli are layered in a baking dish, covered with a sauce made from butter, flour, cream, and cheese, and baked until golden and bubbly. This dish is a perfect example of the fusion of French culinary art with the comfort of American home cooking. Eggplant parmesan is a hearty Italian-American favorite that layers crispy breaded eggplant slices with marinara sauce and cheese. This vegetarian delight originated in southern Italy, where it's known as melanzane alla parmigiana, and made its way to America with Italian immigrants in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The classic recipe involves slicing the eggplant, breading it, and frying until golden brown. These crispy slices are then layered with marinara sauce and a generous helping of mozzarella or parmesan, and baked until the cheese is bubbling. Eggplant parmesan became a staple in meatless meal traditions, especially during Lent, and is still popular in Italian-American restaurants today. Stuffed pork chops are a comforting classic, filled with a savory stuffing and often served with rich gravy. This dish became popular in mid-20th century America, especially in the Midwest and southern states. The preparation starts by cutting a pocket into the pork chops, which are then filled with stuffing made from breadcrumbs, onions, celery, and herbs. Once stuffed, the chops are browned to a golden crust, then baked to tender perfection. A favorite for family dinners and Sunday roasts, stuffed pork chops are a testament to the versatility of pork, allowing for a variety of fillings from apples to mushrooms. Moussaka is a rich, layered Greek casserole that combines slices of eggplant with ground meat and a creamy bechamel sauce. This dish has Middle Eastern origins, but was perfected in its modern form by Greek chef Nikolaos Tselementes in the early 20th century. Preparing moussaka involves frying slices of eggplant, layering them with a spiced meat mixture, traditionally lamb or beef, and then topping it all with a luscious bechamel sauce. Once assembled, it's baked until the top is golden brown, offering a deep, flavorful feast. Moussaka made its name in Greek cuisine and entered American dining scenes in the mid-20th century, often served with a side salad or bread. Veal marsala is an elegant Italian dish featuring tender veal cutlets simmered in a rich marsala wine sauce. Originating in Sicily, where marsala wine has been a staple since the 18th century, this dish made its way into Italian-American kitchens in the mid-20th century. The classic method involves lightly flouring the veal cutlets, pan-frying them in butter until brown, and then deglazing the pan with marsala wine, adding mushrooms and sometimes cream to create a sauce that's both sweet and savory. Veal marsala became a sophisticated favorite in Italian restaurants, often served with pasta or potatoes. Salmon kulibiak is a dish of luxury, with salmon fillet wrapped in puff pastry along with rice and mushrooms. Originating from Russia, where it's known as kulibiaka, the name comes from the Russian word for a rich-filled pie. The traditional preparation involves laying a seasoned salmon fillet on a bed of cooked rice and mushrooms, then wrapping it in puff pastry, which bakes to a golden, flaky perfection. This dish became popular in France in the early 20th century and was later adopted by American chefs who appreciated its elegance and complexity. It's often served at special occasions or holiday meals, paired with a light salad or vegetables. Beef stroganoff is a Russian dish featuring sautéed beef in a creamy sauce, often served over egg noodles. It originated in mid-19th century Russia, named after the Stroganov family, who were wealthy patriots patrons of the arts. The classic recipe involves browning strips of beef, creating a sauce from the pan drippings, sour cream, and sometimes mustard, and then tossing it all with cooked noodles. Beef stroganoff became a popular dish in the United States in the mid-20th century, especially after World War II, when the recipe was simplified and became a staple of home cooking. Pork crown roast is a showstopper dish made by tying pork ribs into a circular crown shape and often stuffing the center with a flavorful filling. This dish became popular in America in the 1960s and 70s as a centerpiece for holiday dinners or special occasions. Preparing it involves seasoning the ribs, arranging them into a crown, and roasting them until the meat is tender and the exterior is crispy. The stuffing, usually a mix of bread, herbs, and sometimes fruit, adds extra flavor to the dish. When served, the crown shape and the juicy, flavorful pork make for an impressive presentation that's perfect for festive meals. Lobster thermidor is a luxurious dish that involves lobster meat cooked in a creamy wine-based sauce, then baked in the lobster shell with a topping of cheese. The dish was invented in Paris in the late 19th century, named after the French Revolutionary calendar month Thermidor. The classic recipe includes a sauce made from egg yolks, mustard, and cognac mixed with lobster meat, then stuffed back into the shell, sprinkled with cheese, and baked until golden. It became a symbol of fine dining in mid-20th century America, especially in upscale restaurants and for special celebrations. Baked Alaska is a dramatic dessert that combines layers of cake and ice cream, all encased in a meringue that's briefly baked until golden. This dish was created in the mid-19th century and named in honor of the United States purchase of Alaska. The meringue acts as an insulator, preventing the ice cream from melting while it's in the oven. Preparing it involves layering sponge cake with ice cream, covering it in meringue, and then baking just long enough to brown the meringue. Baked Alaska was a popular dessert choice for special occasions in the 1950s and 60s, particularly because of its eye-catching presentation and the impressive contrast between hot meringue and cold ice cream. Chicken marbella is a flavorful dish that combines chicken with prunes, olives, and capers, all marinated in a mix of vinegar, olive oil, and herbs. It was created by the Silver Palette Cookbook in the 1980s and quickly became a favorite for dinner parties. The dish is made by marinating chicken pieces in a mixture of vinegar, garlic, oregano, and other seasonings, then baking it with prunes, olives, and capers. The result is a complex, sweet, and savory flavor profile that made it a hit in the 1980s, particularly for its combination of Mediterranean ingredients and American cooking techniques. Jell-O salad is a nostalgic dish that combines flavored gelatin with fruits, vegetables, and sometimes even meats. This dish became popular in America in the mid-20th century, especially during the 1950s and 60s. The classic version involves dissolving flavored gelatin in water, adding in chopped fruits or vegetables, and allowing it to set in a mold. Some variations include whipped cream or cottage cheese for a creamier texture. Jell-O salad was a popular choice for potlucks and holiday dinners, especially in the Midwest, where it was often considered a salad course despite its sweet dessert-like nature. Clams Casino is a classic seafood dish featuring clams topped with breadcrumbs, bacon, and peppers, then broiled until crispy. It originated in Rhode Island in the early 20th century, often credited to a hotel named The Casino. The preparation involves shucking clams, topping them with a mixture of breadcrumbs, bacon, bell peppers, and sometimes Parmesan cheese, then broiling until the topping is golden and the clams are cooked through. Clams Casino became a popular appetizer in mid-20th century America, especially in coastal areas, known for its rich flavors and the satisfying crunch of the breadcrumb topping. These classic dishes remind us of a time when cooking was all about comfort, tradition, and sharing good food with loved ones. While some of these meals have faded from everyday menus, they still hold a special place in our culinary history. Bringing them back into our kitchens not only reconnects us with the past, but also lets us savor the flavors that have delighted generations. So why not try recreating one of these dishes and experience a taste of nostalgia, whether it's a special occasion or just a cozy dinner at home? These recipes are sure to bring warmth and satisfaction to your table. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share it with fellow nostalgia lovers, and subscribe to Old School Saga for more dives into our vintage past. And we'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below on which of these dishes you'd like to see make a comeback. Be sure to check out our other videos for more stories and memories that take you back to the good old days. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.